So we're going to try this again. What did you just say?
Like, why sit around and, like, waste your life, like, not doing shit because of what other people might think? Like, just go do it, dude. Like, who cares? Life is short. Go do what you want to do.
That's what she said. That's words of Megan. Hey everyone, this is April. Welcome back to another episode of My Solo Chronicles. And today is going to be a great episode. With me, I have Megan. Say hello, Megan.
Hello. Hi.
Megan's a little nervous, y'all, but don't worry. Once we get to talking about her fantastic journey that she took, she's going to be so comfortable. It's going to flow, right, Megan?
I don't know if it's nervous. I'm just like, okay, don't say anything like stupid.
Don't worry, you're going to do amazing.
I will say something stupid. That's fine.
That's okay.
I'm okay with that.
Don't I say stupid stuff all the time. So today we're going to talk to Megan about one of her trips that she took, and I find it so fascinating because I've always wanted to go to this particular destination, but haven't gotten around to doing it. So Megan, could you tell us, where did you travel on your solo trip and when did you go?
So I was a Peace Corps volunteer in Tanzania from 2017 to 2019.
Okay.
In Tanzania.
Okay.
So I lived there for 2 years by myself, as Peace Corps volunteers do. And we did a bunch of different humanitarian projects while we were there, as is the mission of the Peace Corps. So I lived there by myself. I traveled by myself. I traveled with other Peace Corps volunteers.
Okay.
Anyway.
So what inspired you to choose that particular destination going to Tanzania besides the Peace Corps? Going into the Peace Corps.
Yeah, I chose to join the Peace Corps because I was 20 and I thought I could change the world at the time. There was a lot of blind optimism in that decision. I also remember like recognizing my own privilege at the time and being like, damn, dude, there are people out there that have like, I'm just very lucky to have everything that I have, and I feel like I need to make some type of contribution to like the universe or something in order to even it out. I was like very lofty at this time. I was like thinking really hard about this. But I didn't choose Tanzania. When you sign up for you apply for the Peace Corps, which is like also at the time was very competitive. Okay. I think they only admitted like 40% of people or something.
Okay.
When I applied, you could just click like a continent. You couldn't really, they kind of, as far as I knew, they based it off of like if you spoke Spanish or not. Okay. Or if you spoke Spanish, you would get somewhere in South America. And if you spoke, they would basically tailor it to that. And if you couldn't speak anything, they would send you to Africa because like there's nobody that speaks Swahili that applies for the Peace Corps essentially. So like they would be like, oh sure, you can have this country because we don't have anyone to really choose from. That was kind of the catch-all area. And then you could choose countries you like preferred. Okay. But I mean, I didn't really know the difference between any of them at the time, so I was like, sure, we could go wherever. And they put me in Tanzania. So I didn't really choose. I chose the continent. Yeah. But that was about it.
Okay. And you say you were there for 2 years.
Yeah.
Just 2 years only. Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. That's awesome. That's still 2 great years, too.
It was a long time.
Yeah. Okay. So even though you went and you decided to go into the Peace Corps, you just threw a dart at the board and said, I want to go to Africa somewhere.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, so it
was my second choice on the list. I think my first one was Burkina Faso, but that's only because I knew like one person that did Peace Corps Burkina Faso, and so I could like ask them a million questions before I got there. Okay. But everywhere else was just like, sure. I don't know where that is, so like, why not?
Right. Now, even though this trip kind of intertwined with you being in the Peace Corps, was this something you had been planning to do for a long time? Even if you wouldn't have joined the Peace Corps, would you went to Africa, went to Tanzania?
Yeah, I'm sure I would have.
Okay.
I really just I wanted to travel, and I really, after college, like, kind of didn't really have a lot of direction. And a
Okay.
bunch of my professors were like, you should do Peace Corps. That's what people that don't know what the, like, people that are like sturdy
Yeah.
and can stand up to a lot.
Okay.
And like, they knew I was like on the rugby team. They were
Okay.
like, you're cool with being muddy.
Okay.
And like, outdoorsy people, like those type of people that don't necessarily have like a specific direction after school. Like Peace Corps is really good for them. And a couple different people were like, that's what you should do. That's like the catch all for those type of people. And so that's kind of why I chose to do it. And travel was a big part.
I know you told me you speak Swahili.
Yeah.
Did you pick up that language when you got there or before?
Peace Corps like gives you the first 3 months to like train. They put you in a host, with a host family, and you live in their house.
Mm-hmm.
And they every day you go to language training with like 5 other Peace Corps volunteers that are in that area.
Okay.
And a Tanzanian member of staff like teaches you Swahili for 3 months, and then you go home, and your family probably doesn't speak any English,
right?
So you're gonna learn,
right?
Whether you like it or not. And so they do give you like a little bit of training.
Okay.
I mean, I think that's sufficient. Given the fact that we moved here to Japan and didn't know anything.
That's
like
true.
Duolingo didn't do anything for us. So I appreciate the language training that we did get, because it did keep us from like getting killed once we got to our site where we actually live. But after that, I learned most of my Swahili at school and from my counterparts.
Oh, okay.
Who are people that you work with to execute Peace Corps projects. They're members of the village that you live in. And you work with them to follow through with these projects. And they're kind of your ambassador with the village to be like, look at this foreign lady, she's going to help us. So they kind of helped me learn Swahili, because otherwise I would have been screwed. They did like to sit outside most of the day and braid hair and talk shit about their neighbors. And I was there like just soaking that up, because that was practical information for me, and also relatable, because I was like, you know what? We do this at home. Is this how
we definitely do this?
Hair places in the whole world are the same. And it's always like, did you see what Becky had on? And I was like, wow, this is like,
it's like I've never left home.
Things aren't actually that different. Once you travel, you realize that we all really, on a very basic level, we all are extremely similar.
Oh yeah. So I know Tanzania is not as touristy.
No,
as it is where we're at now in Japan.
Right.
But were there areas where you could go and explore?
Yeah. So Mount Kilimanjaro is on the northern border of Tanzania, between Kenya and Tanzania. Right. So it's up in Moshi. You have to probably fly into Dar es Salaam, then get a charter flight to Moshi. But like that's a touristy area.
Okay.
And then Serengeti National Park is also like, that's where people go to do like safaris and stuff.
Okay.
Less touristy, but still like a good shout is Jane Goodall's research like area where she did all of her work
for the gorillas.
Yeah, right? Is in. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's in Tanzania, but it's in like Western Tanzania, so it's kind of hard to get to. But that's something that attracts people. That's something I wanted to do while I was there that I never got to do. Mainly because I was like, dude, if anyone's going to get their face ripped off by a gorilla, it's going to be me. And that's how I'm going to go down. And everybody back home would be like,
that's Megan.
Unshocked. Yeah, and they would be like, well,
we knew that was going to happen.
We knew it was going to be some like insane story. You weren't going to die in your sleep. Like, it was going to be something nuts with you. And I don't actually know if I really need to go out and like see a gorilla. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like
it's going to see them is so overrated.
I know, and that's how I grew that attitude. The more I lived in the village, the more they were like, "You white people got to stop doing stuff like that." And I was like, "You're right." They were like, "Why risk it? Your face ripped off for like just for the sake of adventure. Like, shut the fuck. Yeah, they were
you
like,
want to take a picture of a silverback.
Yeah, or they would be like, one day they came to me and they were like, listen, we have like a serious question. And I was like, what? And they were like, what is up there? And I was like, where? And they were like, on Mount Kilimanjaro. Like, what is at the top? And I was like, I mean, nothing. There's just like snow and ice up there. And they were like, why do y'all all go up there? What is up there? Is there like, are you hunting something? Yeah. Is there like some type of fountain of, is there like a temple or so? Like, or is this a religious embarkment? Like, what are y'all doing up there? Right. And I was like, you know what? You're right. Ain't nothing up there. And going up there. And then I had to be like, all right, you know what it really is? Because I thought about it and I was like, why do we keep going up there? Right. Like, white people just love to climb mountains. Right. And it doesn't make any sense. And I was like, you know how, like, men in Tanzania, if they have like a lot of kids, that's like a point of pride for them. They're like, look how fertile I am and I can support all of these people and like this is my thing, like look at me. I was like, this is what white people do with climbing mountains. We're like, look how many mountains I've climbed, I am so strong and cool. Right. And they were like, it's like the best. That makes sense. That's the best description I could give you. Yeah. Wow.
Did you have any unexpected moments, good or bad, that really shaped your time?
No, everything was an unexpected moment. Because I didn't know what I was doing, dude. Like, I tried to be like, you can't mentally prepare for it unless you've like been there before. Right. But like before the federal government had to issue me, I didn't have a passport. Wow. They had to send me a passport and be like, oh, here, like, you know what I mean? And they had to issue me like a special one because I didn't have one. I never traveled outside of the US or the East Coast even. I didn't. Yeah, dude, everything was a shock, which was kind of the point. That was the idea. I was like, I want to see stuff. Yeah. I don't care if it's good or bad. I wanted to see the world. And
now, was that
just as soon as we got off the plane, I was like, what did I decide? Because you know how in like developing countries, like the airport, outside of the airport, the taxis are like screaming at you. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I didn't know. I was like, oh, okay. And then as soon as they herd us onto a bus, there's very poor children like banging on the window, like trying to sell soda and candy and stuff. And they were like, don't open the window. And I was like, what are we doing? Oh my God.
Like, welcome to your new life.
I also was the only person in that. They shipped 50 of us there together on the same flight. Okay. And I was definitely one of the only people that had not traveled before.
And that's what I was going to ask. Had you ever traveled
before? I didn't know anything about anything.
You took a big leap.
And everybody else on the bus seemed relatively like unshocked. And I was like, dude, where are we? And they still make fun of me for it. They were like, oh, dude, we thought you were toast. You were going home. Like, I still get made fun of for it. They were like, yeah, dude, we thought you were done.
It was like, yeah, she's going to be gone after a month.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because even the place they put us up at for the first week, like, didn't have air conditioning. It was really hot, and I couldn't sleep. Yeah. And I was like, after 3 days of not sleeping, like, you are delirious. And I was... had never left home before, and all my friends now are like, yeah, dude, we thought you were
the more done. I get to know you, it's like I can see your face when you walked out of the airport. You probably was like a deer in headlights.
Yeah, because I was like, this? I mean, I was a kid. Like, I didn't know. And I never had the privilege of traveling anywhere. Right. So I was like, oh, shit. Like, I knew that it wasn't going to be like,
like roses,
a 5-star resort, but I just had never seen that before. Yeah. So I was like,
wow. So with that being said, did you meet any interesting people that helped you like kind of get acclimated to this new world that you had just walked into?
I mean, yeah, of course. And those people that we shipped shipped. It's not the military. Yeah. They sent us all there together.
Right.
A lot of us, we just all, not all 50 of us, but like a good group of us became really close really fast because we were just like, dude, what did we get ourselves into? Yeah. This is a lot. Yeah, like, you have to full send this. There is no like dipping your toe in. Like, you're going.
You can't back out now.
You can, but like, it's really hard to get into. At the time, it was pretty hard to get into the Peace Corps. There were people there that had applied and been rejected like 2 or 3 times already. So like, for you to like, you could go home, right? But that, I mean, you went through a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you got rid, like you know what I mean? Where are you going to go?
Exactly. Like you
all your stuff's in storage. Yeah. Like you went through a lot to get through this. There. So, and there were like 2 or 3 people that did like turn around and go home.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God. They walked out the airport with you. Was like, no.
Yeah. They were just like, dude, I can't hack it. Someone left like maybe the first day. And then I think after like maybe a month, it was like probably like, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 more people were like, no, we just don't.
Wow.
There isn't really a way to know how it's going to be until you actually get there. So
that's true.
Unless you had been to Tanzania before or something, then like, how would you know? Really?
That's true. So like, okay, you know, like with us when we came in March to Japan.
I was like, this airport is mad nice.
This is so awesome.
It's fancy as hell.
It's fancy. And it was like 72 of us. How many people would you say came?
It was like 50.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how many remained? Because you said people started just
the whole 2
off.
Years, probably like 35, 40.
Okay, so it wasn't a big drop off of people.
Yeah. Okay. I don't remember the exact number, but I think most of us like stuck around.
Okay. That's good.
Because you got to be pretty committed to go through all the stuff that you got to go through.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They made a couple people get their wisdom teeth taken out like ahead of time. You know what I mean? Because if something gets messed up while you're out in your village, like that's going to be actually like could turn into a medical problem, right? And it's much harder to get from the village to where we would go to medical. It took like 12 hours on a bus. So like they were really trying to prevent you from running into any medical problems while you're that remote, because it is really difficult to like get you into a hospital that the federal government is like okay with you being at, that is like to standard.
Yeah.
Wow.
So like with the Peace Corps, like you say, you guys were in villages. What exactly would you do within those villages? I've always been interested in that.
The first couple months, they want you to just, I don't know what the wording is they use, but they just want you to vibe and like make friends, assimilate, make sure people in this village know that like you're trying to assimilate and like be Tanzanian as much as you can. Okay. If that makes sense. Yeah, because otherwise they're not going to trust you, and you don't want to do this white savior thing where you just swoop in and you're like, here's how shit's going to go. Like you can't do that. They're not going to listen to you. Okay. They don't like that. It's just not appropriate. They're trying to do it in a way that's not like that. Right. Because that's how it has been for a long time. And we know that it doesn't work. Right. Not that's really true. With the Peace Corps, but like missions do that. And like other, charities like sometimes end up doing that because they just don't like get it. And it's not going to go down well. Right. So first 3 months, you're hanging out, you're making friends. Okay. And then after that, you can start, you're kind of supposed to ask them, like, what do you feel like you need to make life better here? Okay. And then it's up to you to decipher whether or not which requests are like valid and which are just like money grabs. Right. Because they will just be like, could you just build us like a new bar? And we're like, no. Like they will ask for like stupid stuff, and then you can figure out which thing is like actually like a good idea. Okay. And they make you take classes about what is a good idea, and what's not. Okay. And then you apply to like USAID for grant money. Okay. And you lay out in like excruciating detail how this project's going to go and how there's like a certain percentage of people in the village that are supposed to do the labor. Okay. And contribute like materials or like whatever. Like they're supposed to pitch in X amount. Okay. And USAID will pitch in X amount, and then we're going to do this thing. Okay. And a lot of people use it to. A lot of people use. Yeah, it does. Like it's not just us like handing them money.
Okay.
I mean, it kind of right. Sometimes it does kind of end up being like that, but that's not how you're supposed to do it.
Yeah.
So a lot of people build wells.
Okay.
A lot of people. I did a whole bunch of like educational projects about like the whole reason Tanzania has a Peace Corps presence is because HIV is so bad and malaria, but mostly HIV is like the big one. So we did a whole bunch of sex ed classes. Mm-hmm. We did a whole bunch of classes about. We did sex ed classes for every age group that was appropriate.
Oh wow!
We did just a lot of public health lectures, but like put information up at like the clinics and like try to get it to be like public understanding of like how it spreads and what like how there are a lot of rumors around about like if you have sex under a malaria or a mosquito net you won't get it, or like there are a lot of terrible rumors like it's like having sex in a hot tub you won't get pregnant, like we need to actually go around and talk about how what's true and what's not.
Right.
We kind of did a lot of talking about birth control and condom use and family planning and trying to keep our girls in school because a lot of trying to get people to see that like maybe child marriage is not a great idea.
Right.
Trying to maybe, we would have like 13, 14-year-old girls that would get married and get pregnant and not know why they were pregnant. Like they didn't really understand that like sex leads to pregnancy. They just thought that this is the way life is. They don't really understand that like there are other options because they're like everyone I know does this.
Yeah.
So they don't really see it as like being trapped in this like life because this is the only life they know is like an option.
Right.
Hopefully, I'm thinking social media will change that.
Okay. Yeah. Wow.
But so we would just be like, just so you know,
you might want to do this.
You could do this instead, not telling you what to do.
Yeah.
But there are other options in life if you do X, Y, Z. Okay. And so part of it was also like, once they start getting their periods, they stop coming to school. Because they don't have any way to manage it.
Right.
And they just don't have the resources to like, and then they, if you miss a week of school every month, you're going to fall super far behind and you're just not going to go.
That is true.
So we did a project about how to make reusable menstrual pads out of like locally available materials. How to make them, how to get like all the stuff together and like how to do all this so that you can go to school.
Right. So that you don't get so far behind.
And we would ask like the local tailors, like we would show them, give them the templates and they would learn how to make them. And then we would provide grant money for them to, like we would pay them for them.
Oh, wow. Nice.
That's what the grant money was for. We would have those ladies make them. We would pay them for them so they could give them to the girls.
Wow,
so in the future, those ladies know how to make them.
Right.
And maybe the girls can, if we don't have grant money, they can buy them. If we could try that. At least we have the knowledge now to make those products.
Wow.
And then we would do we put literal doors on their bathrooms instead of just like a
cloth.
A piece of cloth, a blanket or something. Because imagine being 14 and trying to change your pad and that blows and all the boys at school see. I would be like, this is the end of my life. I'd be like, that is the end of the world.
I'm getting homeschool going forward.
Understandably, I would be like, I'm never coming back here again.
Exactly.
No.
Like you're sending me to a different village.
Yeah.
This is not going to happen.
And like they were, and we talk a lot about birth control and like a lot of married women were like forbidden by their husband to take birth control because he would be like, why don't you want any more of my kids? Why don't you? And then they would bring home visible like birth control pills and they would come back had their face fucked up because they got beat when they went home with their birth control. This was not my idea. This was not my idea, but it was cool. The lady that ran my clinic was old as hell. She was like 4'10". She was very small. She was very old. And she was like, here's what we're going to do. Everyone that wants it is getting the birth control injection. And we're not
Smart.
telling these dudes.
Smart.
Because you're supposed to like get your husband's permission or some dumb shit like that.
Yeah.
And she was like, we're giving them out.
Right.
We're giving them out to, if I know a 13-year-old girl is getting married, we're giving it to her. We're giving out implant, like, you know, the implant that goes in your inner arm. Right. We're doing that. We're doing the secret birth control. And I was like, you are my hero, dude. You're my hero. You're literally the coolest. Like, that's
that's genius.
That's not something.
No. That actually saves, like, the
that
young
saved
wife.
So many women's, like, she literally saved like a lot of people's lives doing
because
that.
I mean, if you got husbands that are already beating their women because they're seeing the pills, I mean, you got to come up with an idea that's going to protect them.
And so she was like, she was elder status, so she was like, what are they going to do? Nobody's in. Once women reach elder age and their husband is dead, they start saying and doing whatever they want, and it's for the first time in their entire life. Yeah. And it's crazy. I love it. A lot of them start drinking, but some of them form a club where they drink all day. But this lady decided to do that.
Join me in the next episode as I wrap up the second part of my conversation with Megan about her Tanzania experience. As I always say, my moonbeams, have a great rest of the day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.